Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I decided to convert an old jean trouser of mine into a tote bag. It was time for me to part ways with it, but I had nobody to pass it down to. So I decided to convert it into a bag that will be suitable for me to carry around and run errands with when I am in the hood. Most of the times I go to the bus stop to get things, so this bag is useful for that. I've already unpicked some of my seams and this is what is left because I've used this denim in some previous projects. So I am just going to clip the top to make sure that it is aligned, and I am going to mark the length of my bag, which is like 15.5 or 15 inches. But if you want to do this, you want to do whichever length you find comfortable or whichever length it is that you desire. So I'm just laying everything flat to make sure everything is flat and I have no bulk where I want to cut from. And I'm just going to mark a straight line like so, and I am going to cut along that line. So after cutting, this is what is left, and the opening we have at the center, which is like the crotch depth or the inner seams, I am going to take another piece of denim, place it underneath and align it in order to cover up the hole that has been created from that point. Okay, so I'm just going to align it. After doing this, I realized this is how to convert a pant into a skirt. So if I had planned to use this denim trouser or this old jean trouser to make a skirt, this was what I would have done and it would become a skirt. I actually tested it to check how it looks like being a skirt. I liked it, but I already planned to use this to make a bag, so we'll continue on to making a tote bag. So I'm just aligning the back. This is the back right now to make sure that it stays and it fits properly. I want to make sure everything is flat, and I ended up cutting one of the seam and pinning it down. You just want to make sure that you are, how will I put it, you are positioning or you are facing the crotch into where it will lay flat and it won't be bulky. Remember to fold in the rough edges, so I am going to do that and I am going to sew. So this is it, guys. I am done sewing. This is what we look like right now, and I am going to turn to the wrong side and cut off the excess fabric that we used to close in that hole. After doing that, I am going to turn it to the right side and trim the bottom or the edge or the excess fabric we have from the fabric we used to cut that hole. So this is what we have. We have a skirt, which I like. So guys, now I am going to go over to the bottom edge of my bag and I am going to mark 2 inches up and 2 inches inwards. Okay, so that will form the corners of my tote bag. before I go ahead to sew the bottom part of the main panel, I am going to bring the lining panel. This is a plain Daviva fabric, and I feel like this DIY is good for beginners. If you have an old jean lying around, you could convert it into a tote bag to practice with. So this DIY is very good for beginners. So I am using a plain Daviva on one side, and for the other side I am using a dripping fabric. It's not a plain Daviva, it's a dripping fabric, and I'm doing that because this Daviva I have was not enough to form the whole lining panel. Okay, so guys, after I am done cutting the other panel or the other side of my lining, I am going to cut out my pocket because I want pockets in the tote bag. And guys, this bag is literally filled with pockets because I decided to keep the front and the back pockets detailed on the original jean trousers. So I literally have like 3 pockets in 2 pockets, so I have 5 pockets inside the tote bag, and I have 4 pockets outside. That's like 9 pockets in one bag. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more DIY content like this in the future. So the measurements for my pocket is about 33.5 by about 37.5, but the length or the width of the bag will determine how wide you want your pocket to be. So okay? So now I am placing my pockets right sides together, and I am going to sew, but I am going to leave an opening so I can turn the pocket to the right side. Okay, so after doing that, I am going to trim the excess, trim the corners, and I am going to turn my pockets into the right side. After doing that, I am going to top stitch in order to close that opening, and after top stitching I am going to place my pocket panel on my lining panel and place it wherever it is that I want. And I divided the pocket into 3 sections and also 2 sections. I don't know if you guys understand what that meant, but you're going to see it in the video. So I'm just trying to figure out which side is the front, which side is the back, which side is the up, which side is the side. So this is me trying to mark where my pocket would be, and I had to place the pockets in a way that I felt would be suitable, and I sewed the pocket panel down to the lining panel, and I divided this particular pocket panel into 2, and the second one I divided into 3 sections. So this is into 2 and the other one is into 3 sections. So now I am going to place them right sides together, and I am going to mark my corners just like the way I marked the main panel corners. Okay, so I marked 2 inches upwards and 2 inches inwards from the side. So 2 inches upward from the bottom and 2 inches inward from the side. I am going to cut it out, and I am going to sew right sides together on the side and also on the bottom. But for the main panel, since our side is already sewn together, I am only going to sew on the bottom part of the main panel. I hope you understand. By the way guys, this is a freehand stuff. I was literally just figuring out the whole thing as I went, so there is no particular measurements. As you can see, I don't have straight lines, I have wonky lines, curvy lines. I don't have straight lines, and I just figured it out as I went, so there was no particular measurements for anything. The pockets are based on how I just saw the bag, and I was like, okay, this particular length or width will be fine for the pocket. And for the lining, as you saw earlier, I just placed the lining underneath the main panel and cut it out. so there is no particular measurement. So feel free to experiment and do you if you decide to try this DIY. So now I am just going to pinch the corners right sides together, and I am going to sew where I have pinned by 1/2 inch seam allowance on the main panel and also on the lining panel. Remember, we cut out 2 inches on the corners, the bottom and the side, so we are pinching that and we are sewing on both panels. So guys, I am done sewing. This is what we are looking like right now. I am going to flip the lining panel to the right side. I am going to put the main panel inside of the lining panel so that the wrong sides are touching. But before I do that, I had this fabric that I've had for a long time and I am going to use it as my handle. So I am just marking 3 inches from the edges on both sides, the front and the back, so I have where to mark or where to place my handle, and I am just going to sew. For the handle, you can use about 70 centimeter long handle straps. So guys, at this point I literally just fold the edges of my lining and top stitch all around, flip it to the right side. So guys, this is the final look of the bag. I like that I have 2 front pockets easily accessible to me, and I also have 2 back pockets. I really do like that very much. And I also like that I have 2 pockets and all the pockets are very big, and also I have a big space right here to put anything I would like to put. But let me know what you think about this DIY in the comment section. And I also like that I decided to keep the detail, the front detail and the back detail of the denim. Do let me know what you think in the comment section. If you try out this DIY, do not forget to use the hashtag DIYWithJuliet. And also guys, do not forget to like and subscribe. We are moving into the new year and we have so many DIY projects in our future, because our future is looking bright. Alright guys, see you in my next video. Do let me know what you think about this DIY. I like that the strap I chose to use is long and I have that much flexibility on this bag. That is it guys, I am done talking. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.